Hey, grade 8s, this is a remedial lesson 11.3. This is simulations, probability. So we're going to run through all of the steps required to create a simulation. The most important thing to remember is that we're describing a simulation. It's not like we're actually running through it ourselves. We're actually describing the process of doing it. The first thing you do is you determine well, actually, here's a list of 8 steps. You can pause the video and then you can write them down. So here's the question. In a group of 4 people, what is the probability that at least 2 people were born on a Wednesday? The first step, we have to determine the outcomes. And there's 7 possible outcomes in this case because there's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What was step 2? Determine the probability of each outcome. Each outcome is just as likely as the next. It's not like more people are born on a Monday or a Sunday. So every single one of them has a 1 in 7 chance. We now have to select a model that represents the possible outcomes. And so there are 7 possible outcomes. We need a model that actually represents those 7. So one way you can do it is by like a 7-sided spinner, which is a little unusual. Step 4, we assign our values. So if the spinner should land on number 1, that is a Monday, 2, Tuesday, 3, Wednesday, and so on. We then have to conduct the experiment the required number of times, and this is the tricky part. You go back to the question and it says there's a group of 4 people. So you have to spin the spinner 4 times, 1 for each member of the group, to find out basically what day of the week were they born on or would they be born on. We record the results in step 6. So we spun the spinner once and it came up a 2, so that kid was born on a Tuesday. Spin it again for person number 2, a 4, and they're born on Thursday, and so on and so forth. We do the experiment 100 times. This is step 7. It's really, really important to do 100 times. And we record the number of times that Wednesday comes up twice, because the original question was that at least 2 people, that means 2 or more, were born on a Wednesday. So we're looking for the 3, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And here is one case where at least 2 people were born on a Wednesday. Here's another case right here. Member number 1 and member number 3 were both born on a Wednesday. Now you notice the ellipses right here. It's because I have to do this 100 times. I would have to write this 100 times. And finally, step 8, we express the estimate over 100. So we would actually write down the number of times that Wednesday occurred 2 or more times in doing it 100 times, divided by 100 times, and that is the probability. So I've got a problem for you guys to try. Mr. Lemoyne has a 60% shooting average. He's about to take 2 foul shots. Describe a simulation to see if he makes both baskets. And a key word here, at least, every, both, those are the key words. So the first step, you can pause it. You have to figure out what are the total possible outcomes about the basket and then the probability. So pause it and I'll reveal. So the 2 outcomes are either Mr. Lemoyne makes the basket or he misses the basket. And the probability of him making the basket is 6 out of 10. So to determine the probability of making the basket, which has already been stated, that is 60% shooting average. But another way to say that is 6 out of 10. And this is going to help us a lot in step number 3, which is determining our device. We're going to use a 10-sided device. This is, if we look back to that previous question about the number of people who are born on a Wednesday, every possible outcome was just as likely as the next. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every single one had a 1 in 7 chance. But here, he's got a 60% chance. That means we have to do something a little bit different. It means that 6 out of the 10 have to be he makes the basket. And that's what step 4 is, assigning the values. Because remember, he has a 6 in 10 chance of making the basket. So if the spinner lands on any one of the 6 that we've assigned as makes basket, then he makes the basket. Step 5, conduct the experiment. He's got 2 foul shots. So we're going to spin it twice. We record the results. So on his first shot, we spun it, and let's say he landed on a 7. And so that means he misses an 8. He misses the basket. And then we spun it again for a second shot, and we got a 3, so he makes the basket. We do this 100 times. Shot number 1 makes it, shot number 2 misses it, and so forth. The question was, how many times did he make it? Both times. There's 1 occasion, there's 2 occasions, and of course we're going to have an ellipsis. We will then, finally in step 8, we express the estimate over 100. The number of times Mr. Lemoyne makes 2 baskets in a row. Booyah.